So I moved to Chicago, and I was like, God, I don't know what direction you're taking me in, but I'm going to follow the direction you take me in. And I just don't want my son to ever have to feel it in his life. I never want him to feel a difference in the lifestyle if I'm not making as much money or whatever. And, I just feel like that was just my prayer, just daily. And I still say that now. Like, I still say it now, because it's like, wherever, I feel led, that's the direction I go in. And, it's just been an amazing journey, because not only have I been able to build financially, build a business, employ other people, and make sure that other families are able to eat. And that's super important. But also just, running a business with integrity and teaching other people that they can do it, right? It doesn't matter if you're a single mom. It doesn't matter if you file for bankruptcy. There are things that you can do to get there.
Hello, good morning, Business Combos and Coffee. I got on my Mama Bear hat. I'm here. I grabbed my coffee. And today, because my good friend Ebony is joining me, I decided to drink a little bit healthier. I went to the Black Street, the new Black Wall Street here in Atlanta. And wait a minute, let me show, Ebony will show hers in a minute. But look, I got this. This is a ginger drink that I'm drinking this morning. So that's actually what's in my coffee. And I'm going to give this free plug, free shout out to Ginger Yums. Can y'all see it? Ginger Yums. It is a vendor, Black owned business in the new Black Wall Street that I got a chance to patronize yesterday. I want to give y'all some time, because I didn't even get a chance to put my full description in for y'all, okay? I may edit that and put that out again so y'all can see it, but today is going to be a treat. Today is a treat. Let me get my monitor on over here, because y'all got to know and see this. I am interviewing and talking to, and this is Business Combos and Coffee. We are having a conversation today with Ebony the Closer Lucas, and I call her Ebony the Closer Lucas. She is also the founder and host, co-hosting with me and Dina, and a wealth of beautiful speakers who are bringing wealth and wellness to Tulum, y'all. So we're not even going to talk about Tulum today. We are talking about how wealth producers buy toys differently, because there's something that my friend did that I admire her for, that is a big deal. Okay, it is a big deal. Y'all know I've been talking about my entrepreneur series, how entrepreneurs get real estate assets and get finance. But look, my friend, she got finance this weekend, and she got her baby finance. So a lot of y'all talk to me about, how do I pay my kids? How do I add my big kids to my business? And what does that look like? But today we're going to talk about, and let me put this up because this is important, right? We're going to talk about how wealthy people buy toys differently, okay? And we ain't buying building blocks today, baby. We buying buildings, okay? Buildings, okay? Let me say that again. Buildings, okay? All right, we're ready to hit with this intro, and we'll be back. Grab your coffee and get something healthy. Get some sea moss from Plant-Based Jeff. Get you a ginger drink together. Get something right, because I ain't gonna get Ebony no smoothie. She's showing me that smoothie, but I bet it ain't sweet, because she had like she dropped
It's not a smoothie, it's a juice.
But anyway, I'm putting her on blast. So look, I'm getting my notes together, because I've been up since 1 o'clock this morning talking about this topic, y'all. I am so excited. And I'm sorry if I was like coming in all hype, but it's the ginger juice. I was up 1:30 to almost 24 hours yesterday, which is hence the hat, the Mama Bear hat. We here, y'all. We here. Us Mama Bears are here, and I call them the OT moms. The over the top mamas. That's what we're going to talk today. And it's okay to be over the top. Don't let people mom shame you. All the mamas with nannies, all the mamas over the top, throw your hands up at me and join us for this live right after this. Hello, my friend. How are you?
Good morning.
Good morning. Tell us, where art thou today?
I am in Tallahassee, Florida, bringing my son to Florida A&M.
Where say that again?
I'm in Tallahassee, Florida. You can't hear me? Can you hear me?
I gotta turn my volume up, but I just for the people in the back of the room, I wanted them to hear that, so I could say, "Fam you, God darn you." Okay, they don't say darn. All right, Albert, Kappa, Albert, oh baby. All right, now I had a flashback. I'm sorry.
I am super excited about him going to FAMU, though. You see, I got my orange drink. I'm right on theme.
Yes, and I just poured the rest of my cucumber mint ginger in here because Ebony has been helping me on my wealth and wellness journey. And, you know, the wellness part is the most important thing because, you know, the whole reason for her founding the Wealth and Wellness is because why build wealth if you can't live to enjoy it, which is the motto, right? But friend, I want to say thank you for joining me for coffee this morning. Coffee juice.
Yes, juice. We having juice. We're juicing today.
We're juicing today. And look, I want to give you a proper introduction if you don't mind. And we're going to run down some of these pictures and I'm going to talk about what had happened this week. Because I gave people a preview. I'm going to give them a proper let me reintroduce yourself to everyone because there's so much to discover about you all the time. Like y'all don't know. He was on Oprah. I'm watching a video with you and Dr. Renee, and I'm like, wait, she was on Oprah. Wait. Why is she? I thought we were friends. I told her.
That's what the show was. The show was the Debt Diet. It was a whole series that Oprah did called The Debt Diet, and it was about how to reduce debt. How do you learn how to budget? When you're in a relationship. It was a real series. So yeah, it's an old.
Oh my God, we need to do that.
Yes, we need to do a redo because that's been 2004 or maybe 2005. It's been a long time.
Look, let me say this. I'm in the gap for Oprah. So I'm gonna be the next Oprah, the next what you call I'm Black Susie Orman businesses. So I gotta feel this Oprah. So we're gonna have to bring that one back, and maybe she'll come see us. You know, because you have not, because you ask not. We're gonna ask Oprah to come visit us. Okay, is that okay? Because I know you're not afraid to ask. This episode is for wealth producers and to introduce to the world how wealth producers like Ebony toys differently. The difference between the haves and the have-nots is that they buy toys differently. How to position, leverage, and build wealth through business and through generations. That's why I invited Ebony Lucas, Ebony the Closer, founder of the Wealth and Wellness Experience, managing partner of the closing firm, to have a conversation with me this morning, business combos and coffee, right? But what if I told y'all that wealth is not in your bank account, but wealth is in your mind? What would your response be? I'm going to be asking my partner in mindset, Mrs. Ebony Lucas, this question over our booster coffee today. Ebony is a mompreneur like me, and she prayed this prayer over her son after her real life Oprah moment. Let me say that again. After her real life Oprah moment, y'all. She met Oprah, y'all. Okay? And after that moment with Oprah, and she did this in an interview with her interview on Black Doctors, if you want to see it, with Dr. Renee, who will also be at the Wealth and Wellness Experience. She prayed that I don't ever want my son to ever have to feel it. And I say the difference in the lifestyle. If I am not making as much money. That is what she said. She never ever wanted her son to ever go through a moment like she talked about, the debt diet where, he didn't have or feel like he didn't have because she didn't have, right? And so what if I'm going to ask what Ebony right after this or bring her in to, because I want to know from Ebony, was it poverty, or is poverty the feeling of not having, right? And what she did differently to actually turn that moment all the way around. She talks about how, like, she's turned her life into a totally different path. Her story is so phenomenal and so amazing. We're only going to be on here 30 minutes today, but she dives into this story of how she became not only an attorney, which she was already, but she became a real estate investor. I don't want to tell her whole story because this is a conversation, but I wanted to tee this up right because my friend is in Florida and has just bought a piece of real estate to begin her son's life. Right? He will live in his real estate as a property owner and landlord, as he will rent out rooms to his roommates. Y'all, join us for this conversation. Ebony, you here? I'm going from my notes, and we're going to end this, if you stay tuned, with the 7 toys you can buy your kids that produce wealthy habits, and extend the invitation for you guys to join us for Business on the Beach as we build more wealth in Tulum at the Wealth and Wellness Experience. Ebony, you here?
I'm here. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Where you at? Let me see. All right. I'm so hyped this morning. I gotta calm myself down. I feel like a preacher.
Oh, that's you every Friday. That's you every Friday. Some Fridays I'm like, let me turn on and get hyped up watching Spicita. So I love.
I'm so hyped today. Thank you. I am so hyped today.
Because, in real estate, it's funny. I was talking to my brother about this because, a lot of people, Mondays is the worst day of the week. But in real estate, Fridays is the worst day of the week. If it's going to happen, it happens on Friday. So I start sometimes. So I need your energy on Friday. So I really appreciate it because it's just, woo, these Fridays, boy.
Man, well, thank you, friend, for supporting me. And we help each other because we know there's no other. Yeah. Like our sisterhood. Some people will get that. So listen, y'all. Ebony, I am so proud of you. Okay, I saw your post on yesterday with your son. You and I, Ebony and I talk all the time because, as you guys know, and if you don't, you should. We are planning the Wealth and Wellness Experience, inviting people to Tulum, right? So that you can buy toys differently for your kids. I think we should change that background so that in the background we got the wealthy toys that people should be buying versus got questions. Because y'all should have some questions. Put them in the chat. We're going to move that off the screen because I want to see Ebony's face when she tells us what that Oprah moment, right, that you had.
Yeah, so
you never told me. Are we friends?
You're like, are we friends or what? Yeah, so I met Oprah and this one time. No, so they actually were doing a series, and it was funny because I got an email that was like, oh, tell us about your debt story. And I was like, oh, this is interesting. And at the time, I had a business and I was working at a law firm, but really living outside my means, to be honest. So I wrote in, and I kind of just wrote in kind of what was going on, having no idea that it was the Oprah show, mind you. It didn't say Oprah show. It didn't say it was casting. It didn't say anything. So about a week later, I got a phone call.
How you not know it was an Oprah show?
It didn't say anything. It just said, we're creating a program to help people manage debt. Share your story. And that was all it said. It didn't say anything else. And I was doing nothing. So I was like, oh, let me go ahead and do this. So I did it. And I didn't think anything of it, like I said. And a week later, I figured I would get a bunch of spam mail or something like that after that. But sometimes that stuff is useful, so whatever. So I got a call from a lady, and she's like, "Hi, yeah, this is Jenny from the OPRAH show, and we received your information about your family, and we want to invite you to be on the OPRAH show."
Okay.
Like, what? Hey, Jenny from the OPRAH show. So she was like, we're doing a series, and we're going to connect you with a financial advisor who's going to help you with really financial planning. And so they connected me with Glenda Bridgeforth, who became a mentor to me and is just an amazing, amazing person. She wrote this book called Girl, Get Your Credit Straight.
Wait a minute, Ebony, you broke out a little.
Oh, you can't hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay. Yeah. So she wrote a book called Girl, Get Your Credit Straight. And then she came up with this budget where you would basically, put all of your expenses in your budget for like a whole month. And then she was like, okay, you need cash envelopes. And so she was like, okay, for your food, if you're buying your food, use cash envelopes. If you know your budget is $400, put $400 in this envelope. And once it's spent, it's spent. So now you have to learn to manage better and budget better. And she really taught me how to budget. And in this process and along the way, I realized that, my marriage was not working. And so my husband and I, we separated.
I was going to say, glad to show your new husband. This is your new husband.
Not my new boo. This my old. This was the practice boo. This is my new boo.
Yeah, the official boo. Let's do the practice boo is gone. We got the official boo.
Exactly right. So, this is the practice round. So on the practice round, it was time for me to stop practicing. And I went to, and right around the time I came to this realization, I talked to Glenda. I was like, hey, what do you think I should do about these different things? And so Glenda really guided me through that. She's amazing. But she guided me through that. And it was the 4th show we were going on OPRAH. So I had been on the other OPRAH shows, and we had heard.
Hey, you were on a series?
Yeah, it was a series. That diet. You got to Google the OPRAH that diet.
Girl, we're going to do a whole replay on this, and we going to do this OPRAH thing. You stop playing. You better come to this wealth experience, because we got OPRAH knowledge. And OPRAH might be there because you only have because you have not because you asked not.
Right.
We might have OPRAH. But we are going to have some other surprise and wealthy wealth producers and wealth managers, right. People that are influencers in the wealth sector, just for the wellness experience. Now, let me just say that because I got to put this comment. We got celebrity financial coaches, but they come. So if and on the only with the but I'm friends, we can stop. I mean, when I say let's stop running, look y'all in the eyes. Like literally, seriously, this is a serious matter. I don't know why I keep dropping these AKA isms. I don't know what's wrong with me.
It's in your blood. It's in your blood.
It's you. But
if I can hop in, Spicita, when you say it's a serious matter, I just want to talk about, because I had a post yesterday. I had a client who contacted me in complete panic. And he's like, I don't know what to do because you're supposed to be working on my file and my agent is in the hospital. And I was like, who's your agent? And it's somebody who I'm actually we're doing a master class right now, and we work very closely. And I was like, while I'm talking to him, I'm texting her like, hey girl, everything. She called me right away and I'm talking to him. So I couldn't, I didn't click over, but then I called her right after. She was like, girl, I am not okay. She was like, what day is it? And I'm like, what? I'm like, where are you? She was like, I'm in the hospital. I had a stroke. And, it just like this year, like my cousin had a massive heart attack. These are just got married a year ago. We're seeing this because we are not taking care of ourselves, right? We're working, and we're building, and there's all of this information overload about how you make $1 million and how you build wealth and but nobody's talking about, we're talking about generational health, but we're not talking wealth, but we're not talking about generational health. And so the wealth and wellness experience is so important because it really is more than just about wealth building. It's about stress management. It's about life management. Because I had another call even the day before yesterday, before I found out from a friend who was like, I'm not okay. She was like, I'm not okay. She's like, I feel like just leaving and walking away from everything. I can't manage my kids and my job and this and that. And I was like, you need so people can help you.
True.
But we really have to learn that stress management because I said the same thing to her. This job to travel for, you can't let it kill you.
I had one of those aha moments. I was, in the Big Four. I was, accounting firm, and I was supposed to be in Brazil. I don't know if I've never told you about it. So I was supposed to be in Brazil. I'm stressed out, and I'm hopping flights to try to going to Miami, laying over, trying to get to Brazil. Get to Brazil, my passport was expired. It had just expired. And actually, no, the passport wasn't expired. What had happened was you got to get a visa to get into Brazil. And it was the top of the year. The consulate that I had to get this emergency passport stamp from had not changed. So they had it stamped January 6th, 2021 versus 2022. I'm in Brazil at the gate, right? Couldn't get in. All my partners could tell me, Ebony, was when you gonna have to report. So I'm in the doggone the fancy room for business people. I'm in that room working, having a hop a flight back, and I get back to Atlanta, no sleep, stressed out, trying to get this report. And literally, I got up from my desk and I told my partner, I said, if I died, y'all gonna send my mama some flowers and post a position for my job. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going home, and y'all aren't gonna get another report from me. You'll get it tomorrow. And he looked like, what? I said, you're gonna get it tomorrow, because y'all aren't gonna send my mama flowers. And I think we gotta be that way throughout life, whether we're an entrepreneur or whether we work for somebody. Because back then I was working for somebody. You talked to me last night and you told me to take my behind the bed, and I was gonna meet with the client, and my body was so just tired, and which is hence the mama had and the basil lemonade and ginger and all that stuff. But you're right. It's like, what is it to wake up? And even if I made $1 million just on yesterday, if I wasn't able to have this much needed conversation with you today, what y'all gonna do? Be sad and sending my husband and my mama and my sisters and my brothers and my family and my kids and saying they're there. You see what I'm saying?
Yep. And that's it. So, and if you pass away and you don't have an estate plan, which is another thing we need to make sure that we're doing. So that's another thing we'll be talking about this experience is, making sure that you're prepared for the things that happen in life, and all of that manages your stress as well. So hopefully you'll join us in Tulum, and we definitely are not trying to have a somber conversation this morning, but
no, we're not. But listen,
seriously, that this is why we're doing this, and this is why it's important to me, because I realize myself. Listen, I'm working, and I'm exhausted, and I need sleep, and I need to sit down, and I got a headache, and it's just like all of these different things, and my kids are like, "Hey, you always working." every time you're with me, you're on the phone. Can you get off the phone? So, I gotta, we have to learn how to, and I don't want to say balance because it's not, I've come to learn that there is no such thing as balance, right? And if you're an entrepreneur, I don't care. Work-life balance is real about that. So now, if we know it's a farce, then what do we do to manage it, right? How do we create boundaries? And be okay with those boundaries, because most of it is like self-induced. Like we're like, okay, well, I can't put this boundary. I can't like not, answer my phone, because if I don't answer my phone, then what's going to happen here or whatever. But to really say, I got a boundary. My boundary is today I'm tired, so I can't do it today, but I'll do it tomorrow. Like you told your boss, like I'll do it tomorrow. And this ain't nobody gonna die, ain't nobody gonna fall apart. I'm not a surgeon. If I was a surgeon, then maybe it would be life threatening. But since I'm not, everybody gonna live.
I've always said this: there is no such thing as an accounting emergency. Nobody's ever died over accounting. Nobody's ever died over taxes. Nobody's ever died and took their money with them, which is why I kicked this whole conversation off. And I'm reading from my screen. I said, what if I told you that wealth is actually not in your bank account? It's in your mindset. And as I call it, okay, over the top. Okay. And I know that I'm an over the top mom. And I've been choosing differently for my kids. And watching you and seeing what you did for your son. And I'm gonna bring up the title just for a second. Just remind you guys, this conversation is about wealth producers that buy toys differently and how to position and leverage your kids to build wealth. You start with their mindset, right? And building a mindset for them that from little, because my kids are 5 and 7. You just dropped your son off at college, and you got kids from, how old is the littlest one? 8?
He's 9.
You got 9 to
32.
32? You too young to have a 32-year-old girl. But
that's my stepdaughter, but she's still mine. My bonus daughter.
Your bonus baby, but same thing, right?
Yep.
Right. So you're the mama.
I work with them at all of their ages too, and it doesn't matter. Like, the way that we've raised our children in our household, regardless of, we're a blended family, and that can be tough. And especially it can be tough when you're coming with different money attitudes and different money backgrounds. My husband grew up in poverty. I did not. So some of the fears that he has are not fears that I have, right? So like when you were talking about, when I said I never want my son to feel it wasn't poverty that I didn't want him to, it wasn't a concern. I was concerned about poverty. What I was concerned about is that I didn't want him to miss opportunities. And for me, as a mom, what I've always done is create opportunities for my kids. So, my son, the 19-year-old would get upset with me in high school because his friends would have Gucci belts and this and that. And I'm like, I'm not buying that. But you don't have a Gucci belt, but you've been to Mexico, you've been to China, you've been to, when for 8th grade, when he turned 13, I was like, where do you want to go? He's like, I said, what do you want to do for your birthday? You want to have a birthday party? He said, no, I want to go somewhere. I said, cool. Where do you want to go? He said, California. I said, no, I think we're going to go ahead and get you a passport and let's go to London. And I took my baby to London for his birthday, right? So you've done these things. So you don't have the Gucci belt. You don't have the shoes, but you do have these opportunities. And so like to get to what you were talking about the condo that I got him, it was the same thing. It was a conversation of, listen, well, first of all, and I don't know,
how did you get him not to want to live in the dorm?
So he wanted to live in the dorm, but like a lot of schools, and I don't want to blame FAMU because it's not FAMU, it's not HBCUs, it's all colleges and universities. More kids are applying to colleges and universities, and there is a housing shortage. Universities only have so much housing, and they're not turning these kids down. You don't want them to turn the kids down. They're accepting them, but they're accepting them, and unfortunately, then not having enough housing for them. So we got communication probably in July, late July, mid-July, that there was no more housing.
Mm.
And but I want to back up because during the pandemic, my son, he had a job right before at the movie theater, and he ended up being able to apply for unemployment because of that job. They were paying all that extra money. And when I tell you those dang on Amazon boxes were coming to my house, I said, if I see another box.
Wait a minute, he buying Amazon?
He was on Amazon buying everything with the unemployment money.
Girl, stop.
So one of the things that I will say is that, I know that, like, I have friends that be like, oh, my kid has a job, and with their job, they can spend their money however they want. I never let my son spend his money however he wants, right? So I was on his bank account, and I was like, you know what?
Say that again. Can you say, I never let my son spend the money?
Because he wasn't those type of decisions. He's not.
How old he is?
He's 19. He still can't spend his money how he wants.
Right. Meaning,
so
you
I
don't
collected
your kid.
Yeah, you don't stop raising them. So I collected the money that he got from the pandemic, and then he also spent he applied for a lot of scholarships too during his senior year, and he actually had more scholarships than he had than he needed, right? And so I put all of that money I took it out of his bank account and I put it in a savings account. And it was $23,000. And he was like, Mom, and every time he wants something, he would be like, well, you have $23,000 in my money. And I'm like, yep, I sure do. And you can't have it until you need it. And there's going to be a time.
Wait a minute. How did you build the $23,000?
It was between the pandemic, unemployment he was getting from working at the movie theater. So, whatever unemployment he was getting, but they were giving an extra, like, what was it, $1,000 a week or whatever they were giving during the pandemic. It was a lot of money. Yeah.
That's amazing.
So not
he got pandemic money. He got you made a PPP fund for him.
I did. I said, you can't have this money. This money ain't yours, right? So I put it in an account and I said I told him, I said, one day you're going to want to buy a house. One day you're going to want to do an internship in New York City. And the internship is going to be an unpaid internship. And you're going to need this money to go to New York to do this internship, because that's what happened when I was in college. The kids who had money, who came from backgrounds of money, they had amazing opportunities because they were able to do these unpaid internships with TV stations and different things. And my parents was like, oh no, you got to get a job. Right? You need to make some money.
I was in inroads, so there's a way for y'all to do them. But I did inroads. Shout out to inroaders all over the world.
Yeah, I mean, there's opportunities, but it's like, I was like, you're going to need this money. And so, no, you can't touch it for anything. And he'd be like, well, why can't I have it for this? Why can't I have it for this? So when when we got the information about the housing, I was like, okay. So we started looking at apartments, and I was like, these apartments are expensive. And then you're going all the way to Florida. The apartments are far away from campus. So you're going to need to drive into campus, which means you're going to need a car, because the public transportation was like 45 minutes to an hour to the university, because Florida A&M is it's in a remote area, sort of.
Yeah. And you can move around campus, but Tallahassee, because I went to Florida State, is a college town. So it's not like New York City or Chicago. You're not hailing a cab.
Right. And the other thing is that you can move around campus if you get housing like a long time ago, but this is mid-July, so every place around campus, and all the universities here. You got FSU and you have FAMU, so everything was far away that was available. And I was like, you know what, this is going to be a problem every year. And then it wasn't furnished, so we're gonna have to get furniture, and then during the summer we got to move the furniture to storage. I was like, this is a lot, and this is going to be a problem every year. He's in a 4-year program where he actually transferred from Indiana. So it's really a 5-year program where he'll have his MBA when he finishes. So he has 4 more years of that. So the next 4 years, let's find a place where you can live. So I found a real estate agent through like one of the FAMU Facebook groups and hooked up with her. She sent me some properties, and we found this condo that is a mile from campus, really a little less than a mile, and you can actually see it from campus, which is really cool.
It's less than a mile from campus?
Less than a mile from campus.
Oh my God, that thing is going to always be rented. So Laura just put it for us. Habit number one in producing toys for your kids. The number one toy you can buy is buy them a 2-bedroom plus. Is it a 2-bedroom plus?
It's 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. And what we're doing, because the bedrooms are huge. The bedrooms are like 14 by 17, that's a huge bedroom. So we actually are renting the rooms to 2 people. So my son will have a roommate, and then in the other room there'll be two people. And he being a boy was like, I don't want to live with 4 guys because guys are messy, and he's very neat. So he got 2 girl roommates to be in.
What? Get it now.
In here, and they're gonna have. And he found them just by talking to other students who needed housing. He found these 2 girls are going to be roommates, and the girls have their own bathroom. The boys have their own bathroom, and then they have their shared living room and kitchen space.
You know what? That is so beautiful, because think about it. Even if they stayed in the dorm, they would be sharing a room of a smaller size, and they would be sharing the what I call the prison bathroom.
Right.
Do you remember the prison bathroom where you used to have to, y'all imagine this? I used to have to take your bath. Every day. That was torturous.
Yeah.
Now, we didn't know we were getting dropped off to prison.
And then, what he told me, he was like, well, I don't really want to share a room. And I said, well, listen, what I'm do is we going to get the condo either way it goes. And if you don't want to share a room, then you can go pay for your housing somewhere else. But the people that live in this place, go share a room.
Oh, you're making him share a room?
Yes, he's sharing a room. Because that's what you do in college. That's what you do. That's college life. Right? He's living like a college student.
I'm a punk. So, all Joey had to tell me was he don't want to share a room. And I would have totally told him, baby, it's okay. You got your 2 female roommates over there. We not going to worry about it. And you ain't got to share no room.
No, he's sharing a room because he needs to be a college student. He needs to learn how to be a college student, how to live, and just have that opportunity and that experience. I mean, if I never had a roommate, I wouldn't have half the stories that I have about being in college.
Girl. I remember when I was bad. I remember when I was pledging, my roommate, she gave me hell, baby. She gave me hell. And if she watch it, I ain't gonna say your name, but you gave me hell, baby. She be like, she knew I was pledging, knew I couldn't tell nobody. Be like, where you at? I went over to Smith Hall looking for you. You wasn't there. I was like, well, no. I told, because I lie and say I'm going to go study, and I'd be gone, girl. I just be gone. A whole hot mess. A whole lot. So, Ebony, I want to keep this conversation going, but we got to cover some stuff, right? So we're going to try to cover in like 10 minutes or whatever. We talked about the real estate, right? You took the baby to school. We got him a roommate. He's there. And you made the decision because of the housing shortage. How can you give us like 2 or 3 tips on, and we're not going to get to all the tips, y'all. We got Ebony here, and we're going to talk about this one tip. Because to get to all the other tips, maybe we'll have a breakout session. Y'all could join us for Coffee on the Beach, Business on the Beach in Tulum, and we can tell y'all how to do this. But can you give us like at least 2 tips on how to get started if you want to buy your baby a toy that is a piece of rental property?
Yes. So I will tell you something that I learned about, which is FHA and Fannie Mae have what's called a kiddie condo loan. The kiddie condo loan allows college students who are living in a property to finance that property, and they can use the rents that they're going to get from their roommates as income. And you still have to put 10% down. So
10% is low.
10% is low, yeah, but you have to put 10% down. And so there's your financing right there. So you can do that, or there are other companies obviously that do loans for people who are, doing investment properties. So I explored those options too. The interest rates were a little bit higher. On the kiddie condo loan, they're at like 4.75% right now. So, you can get the loan in that way. Now, the parents do have to co-sign on the loan. but it allows him
Mhm.
to start building credit because he'll have the mortgage on there. And you do have a choice. If you don't want to put your baby on the mortgage, they don't have to
Mhm.
be on the mortgage, but they do have to be on the deed. Of course, we don't mind him
Okay.
being on the deed. So there you go. So that's financing. I say find somebody
Okay, so
local.
you gave us a finance tip, which was, let me just do a small for everybody. For Fannie Mae, you can get a Fannie Mae loan, FHA loan, and it's called the kitty condo loan, right? And we can
And it
stop putting
doesn't
it
have
on
to be a condo. They call it
we
kitty
call it Fannie
condo.
Mae. I'm trying to,
Right. They call it
like,
kitty condo, but it doesn't have to be a condo. It can be a multi-unit. It can be a single family. It can be
mhm.
a condo. So you can buy a lot of,
Got
like, it
it.
doesn't have to be a condo.
Got it. So can we move that off the screen for a second? Yeah. All right. So, and just have it say the kitty condo loan. So because for the kitty condo loan, basically it doesn't have to be a condo. That's just what it's called. But we could get a loan, and our kid is first, right?
Well, they have to be on the deed. They don't have to be on the loan. It's up to the
Yeah.
parents.
Okay.
Yep. They don't have to be on the loan.
Ebony, that right there is boom boom. What's number 2? I'm ready.
Number two, use a real estate agent, right? So, I talk to people all the time that try to shop for property on the internet by themselves. You can't do it.
Mhm.
Find a real estate agent, find a local real estate agent that you can work with that will tell you about the neighborhoods, that will tell you, the real estate agent, they're not really supposed to give you too much commentary about the neighborhoods, because it can be considered discriminatory. But, my agent was able to say, well, this is where I think college students should live, or the condo we bought is
Mhm.
right next to the Capitol for the state of Florida.
Yes, girl.
So the
You even
Capitol
got
building
my
is right here. It's here. So she's like, this property, you're going to be able to Airbnb it in the summertime because it'll already be furnished. You'll be able to,
girl.
you can rent it to students in the summertime if your son doesn't stay. So there were all those options there. And my real estate agent I worked with also does Airbnb in the area. So she had a lot of really good input and advice about it. So use a local real estate agent. Don't try to buy property on the internet by yourself.
Okay, so
Those are
look,
my
I'm going to
those are my two big tips.
look.
That's how
I
you get
love
until
them.
you get to the wealth and wellness experience. When you get to the
Look,
wealth and wellness
those are big
experience, I'm
enough.
gonna get
Those
to
are
the
big
real
enough.
one. But yeah.
Those are big enough, Ebony. Today we are doing wealth differently, and we're talking about how wealth producers buy toys differently. And we are speaking with Ebony Lucas, who is the founder and owner of the closing firm, and she's been doing real estate in this on the south side of Chicago now for over what 12 years. And look, she just bought a piece of the block for her son as he's attending college. And so she gave us just 2 tips, and she's going to give us more if you join us for the Wealth and Wellness Experience. I'm going to run down, so just showing you guys what you'll get. When you come, you got Dr. Renee talking about stress. You got you got somebody there. You got plant-based chef. You got, like, I'm gonna do the rundown, y'all. Let me run it, please. And then we got like all these speakers here. I'm running it down. We got Prashant Michelle. We got to learn about stocks. So one of the 7 toys that you'll see on my list is stocks. And then just giving them good habits, a yoga leader with Nicole Johnson. We got, Aja Corinne. Aja teaches you how to monetize social media handles, websites, URLs. Those are assets. That's on my list. And then we have Ebony just looking cute, showing us doors that she buying, more and more doors.
Right. That's my property in New Orleans.
Look, let's go this. More and more doors, more and more doors.
Yes,
And
I
so,
got New Orleans
you know,
Airbnb.
yes, we got Nubia, who's teaching us how to be a digital nomad. Wealth is going to look different for our kids. Our kids aren't going to want to sit in a desk. Let's learn how we can be digital nomads so that we can pass that off to them. The love of travels. Don't catch feelings. Let me keep people here. Don't catch feelings, catch flights. Nubia teaches us how to do that. And then we have here, generational wealth with wellness coach Anaya Foster. All right. This whole conversation started with this post right here from Ebony. right? She said that it's time for us to make our kids lenders and not borrowers, the head and not the tail. Baby, being responsibility is obedience. It is. He's 19 and he has his first set of keys. Yes, he owns the condo and is sharing his expenses, et cetera, et cetera. But Ebony, we gonna touch on before we go have somebody try to mom shame you. This is my post on how proud I am to call her my friend and my soror and my partner in mind. And I ain't saying crime, I'm saying mind, M-I-N-D. Mindset. You know, she did it. She did that thing. What they say, she did the thing. She did it. And so I'm very proud of her. You know, this is her son, you know, signing a lease or getting the paperwork ready. And we're here to tell you guys. Now, what I got for y'all is the 7 toys you can buy for your kids that produce wealthy habits. You can watch the replay of this. You can share this if you're joining late or whatever. You can go to accountantthisway.com, accountantthisway.com, and catch the replay of this blog. We'll also be going live again tonight at 9 p.m. and again tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. So you got time. Hit that subscribe button on YouTube. You got time, right? And if you want to join us in Tulum, just go to, and I'm going to make this real easy for y'all. And y'all got those bit.ly links, bit.ly, right? Business on the beach. Just write it, all lowercase. Business on the beach, because we're doing business on the beach. So you can get tax deductions, you can relax, and you can live in wellness and solidify wealth. And wealth is what we've talked about, is not in your bank account, is in your mind, is in your choices. And Ebony, thank you so much for joining me.
Welcome.
We got to do this again. I think we should have this segment, and I'm just going to put you on the spot. We need to have this segment all the way up to the Wealth and Wellness Experience, because people can still, you know, get their tickets to join us. And so I'm also launching my podcast next month. And so Business Combos and Coffee is going podcast live, podcast style, and it's Wealthy Have-Its. Okay, how to be a have and not a have not. And so I'm inviting all of you guys to be a part of that. You could catch all of this right here, get the downloads, get the blog. I'm just excited about just life. Let's see what else. We're going to run this because I'm talking like, Ebony, is there, what do you want to share?
You know, you mentioned about how somebody mom shamed me. So when I posted about it, somebody was like, well, clearly this kid didn't do it by himself, because no kid this age has the money for the down payment. And I was like, well, actually he did have the money for the down payment, but you're right, he didn't do it by himself. And I think that, like, we look at 18-year-olds and we're like, oh, they're adults, right? And I'm not going to guide them anymore. But you know, children's brains are not fully developed. Girls, by the time they're 21, and boys by the time they're 22 or 23 years old. And so a lot of times the decisions that they make, we get upset with them because we expect them to be adults, and they're not adults. So yes, my son had help, right? Yes, I called the village when it was time for the down payment or whatever. You know, instead of don't bring him a bunch of stuff. He doesn't need anything, right? Don't give him money. We want you to help with this down payment. And my family stepped in and helped, right? Your family, people are like, oh, people's families can't afford that. They can, right? Because they can afford to buy your kids other things. They can afford to come and, you know, you're having if you're having a trunk party, make that trunk party a party where people can deposit into the account, whether it's a stock account.
Party. Like the trunk. Because my kids are small.
Yeah, like when people graduate from high school, they have a trunk party where people come in and bring you, you know, sheets and whatever. And it's usually stuff you need. But so many people give that stuff for free now. Like so many organizations give the kids book bags and all this other stuff. You don't need that stuff, really, right? But if
and I've heard of a trunk party, but not that way. Yeah. And I literally took a trunk to school because, do they still take trunks to school?
Remember that they used to, but we still call it a trunk party.
When my kids go to school, I'm buying it behind the trunk. I'm probably gonna have to search high and low for that trunk. But I took my trunk to New York City. I took it to Tallahassee, and I took it with me to New York City. But you made great points. Listen, I don't want to digress because I'm writing notes
Yeah,
here.
I mean, I think we gotta really let your village know if you're trying to buy your kid a property while they're in school. Listen, we want you to instead of bringing us some sheets, take that $100 and put it towards the down payment fund, right?
And can I say this? Because about the lady who made the comment, and I think, and I love how you said that, it's not okay to just release our kids into the world just because society said let's do it at 18, right? In a lot of cultures, sometimes people don't even move out of their parents' house until they marry out, right? And so Elon Musk, and so when you made the comment and you told me about this off live, right? I said, well, Elon Musk can't help. And look at him today. And I bet a lot of other people had help. So we have to change our mindset on, oh, they grown now. Because I mean, I've had people even tell me about my kids that I love and I pour into. Oh, they're grown now. Let them do it on their own. No. What's wrong with the village? The village never stops. Mama and daddy, Papa Bear, and I got my mama bear. Papa Bear and Mama Bear are a part of the village always. We don't just exit stage left after high school graduation or after college graduation. Now it's all about teaching our kids. And I call, and this is another thing, Ebony, you probably like, you got another thing coming. So you know how I talk about my point system, right? And so it's one of the points of life that we have. And I have this point system that I have implemented for my kids. And I'm going to keep that point system until heaven comes home, because I don't want them to worship money. I want them to worship and focus on what's important, which is wealth. And wealth is in your mind, it's not in your bank account. It's in your relationships. You see how you were able to call your village and say, hey, thank y'all very much for the graduation Bibles and the book bags and whatever else y'all thinking of giving, but we would like money for a down payment. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that, right?
No.
And so I'm just so thankful for this. Is it okay? I'm going to run down the top 2 things that we talked about today, which is the 7 toys that you can get for your kids that wealthy people get, how to position and leverage and build wealth for your kids. You can get that full list. I'm going to give it real quick for you guys, but you want to get just what Ebony got, which is a 2-bedroom plus home, or 2-bedroom plus home condo or whatever. Ebony blessed us with knowing about the Fannie Mae, the kid condo loan that you can do that through. And we'll talk more about that at the Wealth and Wellness experience, as well as stock, how to get stock for your kids. That's one of the things that's on my list. Ebony, I got a website for your kids. Is there anything that you would recommend?
Yeah, so let me tell you about this website. And I gotta remember, I'll figure it out and I'll tell you. So my 9-year-old has a website where he actually is able to source items. So he can make a hat and he can design the hat and people can buy it from him. And they teach you actually how to, and it really is a site that helps kids to learn about how to set up an e-commerce site. And I found that website when I was planning a Jack and Jill activity. And so we taught all the kids how to do it, and the kids loved it. And my son still puts things on his website to this day, and people buy the stuff. And when they buy the stuff, they send them money or whatever. And he gets super excited when people buy stuff from his site. So he has hats and mugs and different things like that.
Now, I didn't have an e-commerce business on the, I said website, but
it's free to set up. So an e-commerce site is not great. Yes, it is great. And it's so fun to set it up with your kids. And then the website is so kid friendly that the kids can really do it themselves, right? Like they can pick what colors, and then they tell them, okay, your colors, this is called your branding. This is your logo. And it lets
and they're teaching them
the logo, and it teaches those little business concepts and everything in a way that kids
we're gonna have to drop that link at the bottom of the blog.
Yes.
So when it comes to the blog this weekend, so just so everyone knows, if this is your first time watching, The name of my company is X Financial, and our website is X Financial, exfinancialcpa.com. And I have a blog section, and on the blog section, you'll be able to find this video if you can't remember, or you could just simply go to Accountant This Way, stage left, stage right, whatever way, and it'll take you directly to the blog. Ebony is going to remember to give me that website. We're going to drop it in the comment section for the blog, and hopefully they got an affiliate. Well, it's free, but if they got an affiliate link, you should get an affiliate link. I'm her accountant. So look, you need to get an affiliate link for that, because I'm sure they got like an upsell from the free. But I think that that's great. Ebony, anything you have to say in closing, and then I'm going to let you go, and so you can enjoy tally-ho. Tally-ho. We call it tally-ho.
I'm learning all these names from Tallahassee from Spicita. I'm trying to find this site. I can't remember for the life of me the name of this website right now, but I'll send it to you. But anyway, I really appreciate you having me on here today. I agree with you 100%. Wealth is really in your mind, and you just have to believe you can do it. So that's what I just want to leave everybody with. Believe you can do it. You can do it. There's so many people oh, I can never do that. And I'm like, well, if you say that, then you're right. You never can. Right. Or, oh, that's too expensive. Well, if you say it's too expensive, you won't be able to afford it. But I've had friends, I won't name any names, who were like, oh, I can go to Tulum. And I was like, oh, but the ticket is $300. Oh, the ticket's $300. Yeah. And the hotel's $159 a night. And I know that you're going to go for 3 nights, $159. Let's figure out this math. Okay, so for less than $1,000, you're going to go and you're going to get all of this knowledge. You're going to learn how to make more money. You're going to make more money from coming to this event. Oh, and by the way, you can write off on your taxes. So says Spicita. And, she went back and thought about it. And she's like, okay, I'm going to buy my ticket. And I'm like, yeah, okay. Well, everything is about your mindset. And if you're ready for a change in mindset, or if you have the mindset and you want to around a community of people that have the mindset, then those are the reasons why you join us in Tulum in October, because it's going to be an amazing experience, and I'm excited to go there and share about how I've built. I love talking about what I've done, not to brag about it, but to tell other people they can do it, right? Because I hate walking in rooms and being the only Black person in the room, so I want to bring all y'all with me. So that's what I want to share. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it. There's so many different ways to build wealth. Larry Jones and his information about stocks. I mean, he's amazing, just the way that he teaches. And so you're going to come and you're just going to learn, and you're going to be poured into, and whatever money you spend, I guarantee you're going to triple it within a year. And then you're going to join us again.
You had already some tips from Larry from the summit. And
I did.
You yourself a couple of grand. So kudos to you. Kudos to you. Thank you.
Lucas the Closer. You can see my story. And there's we didn't talk about all the crazy things that happened with this condo, but the condo wasn't completed. It's a new construction building in Tallahassee. So it wasn't completed, which is why I ended up being down here for so long. But you got to watch my Instagram for that. It's Lucas the Closer.
All right, can we follow you on Instagram and keep up with this story?
Yes, and you can see watch the videos from this week, because you're gonna crack up. Basically, we had to get the floors done, but Home Depot dropped a lift on my contractor's truck, and it's just all these crazy things.
Wait a minute, what?
So the place ain't even really ready for the shit, and they're moving tomorrow. So when I get out here, I'm going over there to see what's going on, because actually while we were sitting here, the contractor texted me. He's like, trying to put together furniture, and I'm still putting on floors. I'm like, I don't know what to tell you, bro. Y'all gonna have to work with each other.
Oh my God, Ebony, can I say this?
I'm here on project management.
Look, this is your whole life, though. Every time I'm with you, you're managing a contractor. You're on the phone with the contractor. Like, girl, this is nothing new for you. This may be a crisis for me, but it is not a crisis for you. Talk about they dropped the girl. I can't wait to see. Y'all follow my friend on Instagram at Lucas the Closer, because I will be following you. And, and following this story as my nephew. You tell him his Auntie Cita coming. He don't know me yet. I haven't met him in person yet.
Right.
But you tell him.
The street, so if I have to call you and be like, I'm going to need you to go over there.
Look, Auntie Cita can be there in 6 hours, boo. Don't play with me. And I can hop a flight in 45 minutes. Tell him, do not be acting up. Because Tallahassee is a place, I always tell people, and you're so blessed, and he's so blessed for the opportunity. Tallahassee is a great place to grow up. You ask anybody who went to FAMU and FSU, we are thankful that we didn't have social media back then. It was like when our parents say we walked to school 10 miles bare feet with no shoes, right? But these kids are not like we went to college with no social media. And, I say that Tallahassee is a great place to grow up. For kids to be kids and young adults to be young adults and become adults. So you, Mama, he's in great hands. It is the capital of the state of Florida. I am a product of Florida. I am a college leadership Florida graduate and all that good stuff in Florida. So Florida is a great place. I am a Florida girl. So thank you, Ebony. You got to come back. We're going to come back.
Thanks for having you. Yeah. We've been on you.
Yeah, we're going to come back.
We've been on here for an hour because you and
we've been on here for a whole hour. We cannot do this. And we're not even going to have time in Tulum to be talking to folk unless they're going out with us. Because Ebony like to leave the resort. I don't. But that's an Ebony thing. Having us eating crickets and all kinds of stuff. Y'all going to have to, we're going to put the pictures up on the replay.
Let me just say, I didn't eat no bugs.
I didn't eat them, but she was making Joey and Garland eat them. They talking about they were crunchy and good. But anyway, my friend, I'm gonna let you go, and while I do this close out, you guys follow Ebony. No, thank you. Thank you for having me and causing me to stretch my life, because I just be sitting behind this desk and everything, and I would not be coming to Tulum, helping with Tulum and doing all this stuff if it wasn't for you, because I am the no girl. I say no first. So thank you for having me. So look, y'all have been thoroughly blessed with my friend Ebony Lucas, Ebony the Closer. She shared with us, and I'm gonna show y'all this graphic one more time, and because this thing was an hour, I gotta bring my friend back because I don't know. I was just excited about the conversation. Just like we didn't plan this conversation. I mean, we talked a little bit last night, but I have been tired. She just called me to check on me because she could tell I was tired. I was out here working hard or whatever. But look, y'all, we got to continue this conversation because I believe that everybody should have wealthy habits, and make sure that, you go to our website, sign up for the email list so that you can know when the podcast goes live. And you can also get my points of life. I had a mommy friend tell me, and we'll talk about that on another time, but I have points of life coming that help moms encourage your kids starting as young as 4 years old, and in building wealthy habits so that they can be a have and not a have not. Ebony thoroughly blessed me with this, and maybe we get Ebony, Joey, Garland together and we talk about our different perspectives in life, because my husband has a different background, her husband has a different background, I have a different background, she got a different background. So it's just a fun conversation to have, and we are so blessed to be here. Bye, y'all. I'm Spicy to Jackson, the accountant that you love. Join us next week for Business Combos and Coffee. Or if you're watching it on replay, catch your replay at accountantthisway.com. I love y'all. And don't forget to move your profit in the right direction. And that's up.